Welcome back, Mosh Pit Podcast. We're here with Reaping Asmodeia at Goldfield Trading Post in Roseville, and you guys are from Minnesota, all the way coming out here to California. How do you like it out here?
Nice.
You guys your first time out here in Cali, or no? You come here a lot?
We've been out through here quite a few times. It's just been a handful of years. I think probably not since 2018.
Pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
2019. Yeah.
Go ahead and introduce you guys yourselves to the podcast.
Steven, I do vocals.
I'm Alex. I do guitars.
I'm Daniel. I play drums.
Awesome. And I'm going to start off with my first question. What do you guys think you've changed since your band's first live show?
Everything. Lineup, but also just gear and lights and sound and.
Do you guys feel like you're more comfortable on stage now, or do you guys still have those same jitters as like when you started?
Oh, no, not at all, I guess. I don't, maybe other people might get nervous a bit, but I generally don't really ever, I guess. For the most part, I'm pretty much just getting the mindset, and it's like, put my time into this. We've all been practicing, we've all conditioned ourselves. We put the time in, so there's nothing to sweat, and this is the moment to, like, put it at its fullest, so.
Awesome.
I still take a pre-show shit, you know.
That, though, too, yeah.
You know, but
Everyone's I
That's
think
because
we
of
all
the-
got our own.
That's because of the tour food, though. That's not, like, out of anxious.
Do you guys have like a little regimen you guys do before a show? Do you guys like do like something together before a
I
show?
probably am the most particular about.
Yeah.
I mean, but most drummers are. I think it's different in metal and drumming. It's very indicative that you have to have like a warm up and everything. And,
Yeah.
And I still get. I wouldn't say I get nervous, but I mean I get a little anxious. But I mean it's like the good anxious.
Yeah.
Like before we're playing, just get myself in the right mindset. I think, for me personally, I think that that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I think if I was like just completely like emotionless, I think that probably wouldn't. It wouldn't match with my personality and my playing. Then I think.
Yeah.
I think stretching out and I have a stretch out routine that I do, and I do a little bit of warming up for sure. Usually get a beer on the stage too, get it ready to go.
Yeah.
But we do like a lot of our own production things too, and like set up. So it's like a flip between technical and then like performing, and then again too, like it is a little important for each like to warm up a little bit in some type of way. I don't really vocally warm up too much like I used to, but I don't as much anymore. It's more so just making sure that my body is warm and ready to go. Then like everything is warm and like kind of activated, then everything will translate and be fine. But I don't necessarily need to like warm up my cords or something necessarily. Maybe just breathing wise to get everything stretched out. But you do gotta like flip some kind of switch because we do try to like operate and perform on like a heightened energy type of way, and not just be like you will never see us standing there or anything like that at all. Like we do put energy into what we're doing. We're having fun. We want to be just kind of fully into like being the fullest of what we're trying to
like
convey musically too. Yeah.
When the garb goes on, the stage garb goes on, you gotta kind of like turn into that other character, you know.
Huffing and puffing, feeling like a crackhead, just putting that adrenaline up, getting it going.
I was wondering, how did you guys all meet?
I know Steve probably longer than I know Dan. Maybe I've known both of y'all a long time.
Yeah. So I moved to Minnesota for like music school and stuff like that. I played in some other bands. They were already, they were like in band before, even though I liked a lot as well. And then with Dead Hands Rising, and then when I moved up, they were in this band called Reaping Asmodeia, as they are now. And we actually, a couple of our friends, we all went on the road and helped them for like a couple little runs too. So it's kind of funny like that. And I even met my future ex-wife, baby mama, at doing merch at one of their shows for like the After Burial, one of their album release shows too. So a lot of things unwind, but they kind of, between playing together and being in different bands, they kind of just, we all kind of just came together and in the end.
Yeah, Dan and I we started this band, and we had a band before this, and that's when I first met him. And
long time.
Clicked, yeah.
Long time.
Like 2007, 2008.
Yeah, probably about that. And I mean, we had passed like at points probably, like, but we didn't really know each other until probably like 2009, 2010,
Yeah.
maybe 2011.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, because just bands, like his other band that he had at the time.
Yeah.
Debbie Does Malice.
Acquaintances, friends, you know,
Yeah.
like peers, but then getting to really become more
Yep.
brotherly then differently.
That's awesome. Do you guys hang out outside of doing music? And if so, what's your go thing to do?
I mean, a little bit, but we're also, I mean, we try to, if we're going to be together, we kind of want to do music stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
There's always, like, things we want to attack and take care of, so. But we will hang out a bit as well, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's time permitting. I mean, me and
Yeah.
Alex, we go bike riding a lot as we can, and we hang out as we all can. But I mean, I think it's just a lifestyle is what, like, you know, other stuff that we do, like our families or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever we're doing. But yeah, it's not.
It's a busy lifestyle, so it's hard to get time for yourself.
Yeah,
To do
yeah.
anything.
Especially now, too, because I've been on the road, like, most months out of the year.
Yeah,
for
he
doing sound
travels.
stuff
I
and
travel
shit.
with other music stuff too, so it makes it a little more.
So if we're hanging out,
challenging.
well, like what we have been doing, we'll have like longer, like a night of practice then too. We'll practice, but then we'll just work on music, go over ideas, get things situated, just kind of do like an overhaul of hanging out, make sure we're all in a great spot together, same page, and also having fun together
And either way, Dan and I are meeting up at least a couple
Even-
times a week to.
Yeah.
all the time. That's
So
the
I
part
mean,
where
yeah,
I say,
that's
no
it's
need
kind
to
of
be nervous.
relative, like, cause yeah, we're not one of those bands where we go like a month or whatever where we're not like physically like working on things together. So it is still a couple times a week, you know, when we're not like touring extensively, where we're working on music, we're doing stuff, but it's not just like straight business.
You're grinding
Like,
it out
Yeah.
because you're trying to make a name for yourself and
Yeah.
and also enjoy what you're doing.
It is metal. It's not. Yeah, we're not making $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, as we're working on things, but
What is your main message behind your song "False Awakening"?
Oh, I'd be like, it's like, so the whole album kind of correlates to different like stages of like sleep and death. There's multiple things between it. For that one in particular, False Awakening kind of just alludes to like an out of body experience. So like when you're like going back to, in this case, like our character went through like a big tragedy in the first one. You can't tell at the end of it whether he like lived on or if he ended up dying.
Yeah.
So when the next one happens and he's like waking up from a dream thing, it's like a kind of a play on thing. And there's kind of a thing that he encounters throughout the dream, like a kind of a silhouette, like a shadow part of himself that kind of just like wakes up at a similar spot where he did. And when he walks back to his bed and he sees himself sleeping, that's when he realizes that it's a false awakening. He hasn't actually woken up. He's still dreaming. And then that's when he kind of comes, it's the first like encounter of his like from like separation of ascension from like his like shedding other
Yeah.
things into the new place kind of in a way. And it just kind of grows throughout the album like that, then explains more and more about it.
That's awesome. It's like a whole storyline behind it.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
So one of the cool things about how we wrote it then too, like I had all of the what each thing is gonna be about, and then we like kind of like wrote it like scoring a movie then, where we're able to like, this needs to, you know, represent this type of feeling, this suspense build, or this is more of an epic release part or whatever. So we kind of were able to write our dynamics and our music according to that then as well.
Awesome. What was the meaning behind the name Reaping Asmodeia? Like, what came with the creation of it?
We had we went back
Collaborative
and forth with a lot of
effort.
names,
Yeah.
yeah. And it almost wasn't that, but you know, we're in Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, what were you guys gonna be before? Because I didn't even know that.
well, we knew we didn't want to have like one word, and yeah, and we kind of just
Yeah, we didn't want one. We wanted two words. We didn't want the in it. We didn't want like of or any of
Yeah.
those other.
We want to be parallels or adjacents or
yeah.
We didn't want we didn't want a
Yeah.
plural word either.
yeah, plural
and-
band.
Yeah, Asmodeus is
Introducing Triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Triangles.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
we started like talking about like Dante's Inferno and like stuff like that, and the various spellings and the various forms of Asmodeus came up, which is like you know, one of the demon gods that looks over lust and wrath and things pertaining to that, and we really liked the word reaping, so we put those together, and like that was just like the idea behind it, where that was just like a kind of a life message, I guess, where like usually a lot of shit that most people are dealing with are pertaining to those ideas.
Yeah.
So.
Because you have a lot of, like, kind of like, is it kind of like how, like, you have, like, a lot of demons to go through, and, like, how you're just trying to overcome it?
I mean,
kinda
it's,
like that?
yeah. I think it's all open for interpretation, like,
How you visualize it?
And I'd say a lot of the way, like, writing comes across for us, at least, too, and, like, content-wise, for me, it kind of represents, in a way, of just, like, the duality of things, and just that constant, like, nature of humans, and just indulgence, and just kind of traits that we are able to have because we've domesticated ourselves to get into these complexities of ability to have the capability to just go overboard.
Yeah, I think that strangely enough, as time progressed with the band and everything, that's kind of like that overall theme of humans are kind of their own demise. You know, we're subjected to our own demise.
Yeah.
Controlled by our wants, not needs.
Yeah. Out of all your shows, which one was your most memorable?
Right off the top of your head, right now. We've got a lot of good shows. We've played a lot of
tough.
good shows.
Putting on the spot.
Doesn't even have to be in California. It could be anywhere.
I mean, like, that's just tough because it's like when you say memorable, it's like that could be not necessarily like the biggest show, like, you know,
more intimate.
like 8 or 9 years ago, like in Omaha, like we talk about that every once when the cops came to this like really like DIY kind of like speakeasy kind of
Place
venue.
called
And
the
there was a lot of
Sandbox.
people there, but
Yeah.
it was like a drug bust.
They raided it. And
They like
came
raided in the middle of the show, so it's like that's something that like I always remember.
Yep. And we had a whole, like, this is 9 years ago too, and we had a whole like Tupperware of weed cookies with us. And
Somebody gave us Dragon's Breath at a show. That was like moonshine mixed with, like, infused with weed. I remember that.
Remember drinking it, or do you remember after?
Yeah.
Both. Kind of, yeah. No, I mean, thankfully we've had a lot of good, like, crowds and a lot of good times, and it kind of not like blends together, but all that kind of together. Like,
Playing
there's been a lot of good fucking times.
playing the Gramercy when we did the Metal Alliance tour, some of the Metal Alliance tour with Dying Fetus and Acacia
Acacia
Strain.
Strain.
Like that was one for
Black
me.
Crown Initiate.
Yes.
I saw a street rat that was like as big as a dog, so I'll never forget that. Even though I've been to New York a ton of times, but yeah, like so.
That was a really fucking cool.
Yeah, that was a really cool show.
Yeah.
Get to do guest vocals during Case Strain set, and I also just sat in front, like in the crowd too, watching them a lot too. That was like a fun one for me, especially. I like that a lot.
I ask this to every band. What is the craziest mosh pit you have seen or been in? It could be a bad experience, be a good experience, anything.
I mean,
Benin?
wise, Lamb of God for me, I guess too. I don't know if it was like
The Roy Wilkins?
maybe, yeah. Just
Yeah,
one
that
of
was
just
our
one of the
first
walls of death type of stuff that happened.
I love
during,
walls. That's my favorite.
I don't know if it was like Ruin or I can't remember what, but it was one of the older tracks for sure, and it just or Laid to Rest even too. But there's just a part that happens, and it was
Yeah.
the fucking ride bell just kicks it off, and goddamn.
I'd say one off the top of my head was seeing Pantera and Black Sabbath, because when Pantera went on, there was chairs, like at the place that it was at, there was chairs all over the floor, and they went on, and it was like chairs flying everywhere. Like they were the kind that were all linked together. They weren't like secured to the concrete, really. So they like people just literally ripped them apart and like threw them everywhere because it was just a huge chaos of like people pitting and just going nuts. Yeah.
Back when pits could be like war zones.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Stuff,
Yeah. Now you go to shows. I went to a show I think a month ago, and they were having security kick out people that were trying to start mosh pits, and I'm like, why is this becoming a thing? Like, it's messed up. And that's why, I mean, like you said, I love Wall of Death. That's why, because like I just made my first batch of shirts. And on the back, I put "Open the Pit,"
Sick,
Yeah.
sick.
and
I mean,
I love them.
I think a lot of that comes down to, just like making sure everyone's like immersed in the communities, the metal communities, heavy metal venues that, cater, like, just are versed and specialized in metal Because you go to a lot of places and that's where you happen, where they don't understand, they don't get the flow of it. It looks like something that's like violent, and even though it is like in a, you know, it's in a different way, like it's, you know.
True.
But people then, just any venue kind of people, like when you're playing at places that are more like clubs, they get super like hostile and heightened on themselves and get all either just not at all, or they start getting like agitated themselves because they just don't understand.
I'll notice venues will put signs up that say no moshing, and by a few bands, people are moshing anyways. I don't think it's something that you can really control.
And I also
Yeah.
see
It's a
though
liability
venues that
thing.
get it, and they're like, mosh at your own risk, we will not hold you liable,
what I
and this
like.
is that there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's just about exactly if they understand or not. And I feel like if you have stronger metal communities, then you're actually going to have metal venues. So support the metal venues out there and go to those shows.
Yep. I got one last question for you. What's your most and least favorite part of touring?
You know, absolutely playing the shows. Like, you know, you spend all day driving,
Yeah.
you know, and waiting and loading, and then just biding your time until you get that half an hour where you can just shine up on the stage and then see the mosh pits and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that I would say that is absolutely the highlight for me.
It's like a wind up, you know.
It's just
Cage all day and you get to fucking finally release.
That's how I am with like podcasting and stuff. It's just like I get to like the venue, I sit there, chill,
Hurry up and wait.
watch everybody do their sound check and everything, and then once they get the go ahead, I'm like, okay. With I press record, I'm like, okay, I'm in my element now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hurry up and wait, and then first to go, last to know. It's like
Yeah.
the other one I know. It's the last one to know what needs to happen and what needs to go on, but the first one to move and have to do it.
Yep.
Although I'll often joke that my favorite part is the loadout at the end of the night, just because that's probably when you're the most tired. and
That's
it's
the
like,
light at the end of the tunnel, you know. It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
can't really think of like, I'd say okay, worst part. If you're sleeping in a vehicle and it's wintertime, that's where it sucks.
Cause you guys, do you guys have a bus or do you guys like have like a van?
This van, 15-passenger van with a few of us rolling in it. Then we
full
got
trailer.
like 2 benches in, and then the middle area is all open. Then we have like a little bunk set up for just one and storage underneath. So
That's nice.
it's not too bad with
Is
the
that-
amount of people. We,
Yeah, we typically only
Unavailable
travel,
crew.
you
What
know,
you need.
with 5
4 or 5
people,
people,
so
yeah.
there's plenty of room. But it's just, I think it's just travel in general.
You just
Even-
gotta be-
It's just hard. It's hard on everyone. Like it's just a lot of work.
me, though.
So
Yeah.
just not me though.
it's a lot of driving and a lot of work. It's a lot of people think that, you know, guys like us are, you know, touring and playing rock and metal. It's like all fun and games, and it's like it's a lot of work, you know, for the bands to get to, you know, place to place and to like get to the point where you're actually playing on stage. It is a lot of work. It's rewarding, but it's tiring.
It's a dedication, though. It's a labor of love.
That's
Yeah.
why, you know, everyone doesn't keep doing it or want to do it.
But one of the things I guess I do like about it too a lot, you know, for the whole touring thing is like it's a good reminder all the time to be around people who kind of like have like-minded ways and stuff, and like I don't know, you can feel disconnected from a lot of people, a lot of community, a lot of just general society in general,
Yeah.
and so that'll like detach me in ways and make me somewhat depressed at times. But then going out, hanging around other bands, hanging around other people, fans, just people in general that are involved in this, when you see everyone kind of like not be as predictable in like one way to the other and not be as so whatever, it's just nice to see that you can relate on people and resonate with such a people in a way, even though you have all these different differences, but you still connect exactly the same way in a way. You
Yeah.
have people that you can truly relate to.
Exactly.
You know, and traveling across the country with the same people, it's like you kind of, brothers and sisters with them, you know.
Yeah. Because you have to have. That's another thing is you have to have a good relationship with like the people you're creating music with, like because you're just you're sitting in a van with them for
Yeah.
months at sometimes, and then you have to be able to tolerate one another.
Yeah, there's so many bands that don't make it through tour 1, you know, and they like realize how much they don't like being with each other, or just how like just oblivious they are to their imprint and like impact to everyone around them,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. But with all that, I'd like you guys to promote any upcoming music or new music that you're thinking about coming, or any tours, shows.
If you haven't checked out our album Dark and Infinity, we got it on vinyl and physical. Everything's on all the streaming platforms. We got 2 albums on prosthetic now. We're gonna be hitting home to write a bunch more. So just keep on the lookout with all that, really.
Come out to a show. We're only halfway through the Carnival of Death, so
Yeah.
I don't know when this is going up.
They're coming out this week.
Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
there'll be a week left of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Still be
sick ass
on
tour.
It's a
Cryptopsy,
sick ass tour.
Abysmal Dawn, Visceral Disgorge, us, and Warforged.
And Hate was just on it too with
Yeah.
their end of the was
Yeah,
recent
every
as well.
band is
It's cool.
super talented.
Yeah, a real good mix of styles of metal, and everyone's just been killing it every night.
Awesome. So everybody, all their stuff will be down in the link below. You guys go check them out, like all their shit, follow them, subscribe, and can't wait to see what you guys do next. It's gonna be awesome. See you later, Mosh Pit.
See ya.